What's cracking, guys? So New Zealand was an awesome trip. I'm glad to be back. Fishing's not going too well for me. We've had a mixed weather pattern, all that sort of stuff. The jacks aren't biting, well, or I'm just terrible. Bass aren't biting, or I'm just terrible. And we're going to be talking about the Canoe. A bunch of you have been asking about it, what I did to it, how I modified it, all that sort of stuff to make it a really awesome little fishing vessel. So this video, I'm going to go through all the mods, all the things you need, all the little tools, PVC pipe, all that sort of stuff. So if you got anything for me, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know if you like this sort of format. I might go through my kayak mods, not that there's many of them, but yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy this sort of format. And yes, I'll be getting back on the water soon. I know the last video wasn't much fishing at all, but we're getting me back on the water soon, and hopefully we'll get some fish. So hope you enjoy it. Let's get over to it.
So what we've got here is my Canoe. So what it is, it's an Old Town Saranac 146. I've had it since I was about 10 or so, and I think we bought it for about $1,200 or something like that. So they're not the cheapest sort of guys, but really good quality. Length 4.4 meters. The widest part is about 91 centimeters, and I believe they weigh about 35 kilos. So very light sort of fishing vessel, and I used to use it a lot just with the paddles. So let's start at the front, and then we'll work our way back. Now, I also have this on a trailer. The main reason why is if I'm by myself, I don't want to be lugging it up on the roof. I probably could do it, but it's just a little bit more energy that'll help me get home or do whatever, do extended sessions, etc. So I find that really good. So we start off with the front. It's got a basic little handle. They had two little eyelets there, and we just cut those out and put a D-ring there, and we use it as a tow point for the trailer. So that works really well. We can also use it for anchors and all that sort of stuff if we ever need to, but since using it, we've never had to use an anchor. Then we got the front seat, nothing too flash here, just a big plastic mold. You've got a bit of storage on both sides, both left and right. On the right hand side there, you've got a little rod holder, and then obviously you've got storage in the bottom as well. So plenty of storage and plenty of foot space to stand up, and a little bit less stable in the back. And we'll talk to you through that there. Directly behind that seat, you've got a bit of storage, and that's where we put all our tackle, extra stuff, nets, all that sort of stuff, the GoPro stuff, etc. Now we're getting down to the business sort of side of things. This is where all the modifications came into it, and what we've got is we've got the middle seat there. So the main reason why I use this, I don't really use much of the stuff that's on it, but I use it to brace the Canoe. So you've got a little dry well, and you've also got the little storage hatch in the middle. Don't worry about those holes. There was a project when I was like 15 and it failed miserably. You got a drink holder, a rod holder as well. Yeah, so the main modification that I did here was with the screws that were in the sides of the canoes on the edges, I actually put bolts through, and I fed them through underneath, and as you can see, they give me a point to where I can tie my stabilizers. So nylock nutted those. I think they're size M10, I can't remember, but I'll pop it in the screen here. Yeah, so then they're nylock nutted, and it's a really dirty sort of way to attach the stabilizers to the Canoe. I didn't think that, my old man did think of that when I was about 15 or 16, and it's worked a treat ever since. So the next thing that we put on was obviously the stabilizers. All it is a couple of fenders from BCF. They cost me about 30 bucks back in the day, but I know they're a bit more expensive now, but they work a treat. Then I've got some bolts. They are screwed into the PVC pipe, which makes up the stabilizers, as you can see here. Yes, I'll probably be changing the length of those. Some are different lengths, all that sort of stuff. As you can see, we've got some PVC piping. I can't remember the diameter of that. I think it's 50mm pipe. You got two T-pieces that go up to like a 45-degree angle T-piece to another two T-pieces at the top there. And that creates a really strong structure there. And I found that it doesn't actually flex or anything like that if you're leaning to one side or anything like that. I did try smaller PVC piping, and that really flexed out, and sometimes it even snaps. So we decided to upgrade to this in the more recent times, and it's worked really well. And as you can see here, that's where it screws through onto the Canoe, and we just use some wing nuts there to tie it down. So yeah, that's the main part that I use, and obviously you've got this little board here. It's just a piece of ply, carpeted, and at the bottom here you can see that this is how it's attached to the PVC. Nothing too fancy there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the stabilizers. Now we move back towards the end. We've got the big floor space for the driver, which is mainly me. Really, really stable there, much more than the front, mainly just because that's where the widest point is, you know, that 91 centimeter. And on the seat, it's the same thing as the front. I do have a little yoga pad that I put on there. The pad there just helps with my backside. In the near future, I reckon I'm going to upgrade those seats, so see how we go. Now we move back towards the end part, and this is the motor mount. So this is where all the power comes from. So you can see here we got the motor mount, and it's just a couple of pieces of ply attached to the Canoe. So you can see there's that brace at the bottom that fits underneath the lip of the Canoe, and then that's bolted through and sits on top, and that creates the motor mount. Anyone can do this. I actually got this off YouTube about 4 or 5 years ago. Might even link the video down below of how the person made it. It's really, really foolproof. Like, I could do it when I was 15, so, and that's how long it's lasted, so it's lasted a fair while. Yep, so you can see they're bolted on both sides, and then the back support piece is actually screwed through. Now, a cool thing that I decided to do about a couple of years ago was actually add a little rod holder mounted here. And as you can see, it holds my GoPro, the third person view. I really do enjoy that third person view. It's just another option. Sometimes when you're fighting the fish in the canoe, all you see is feet. Yes, I know you guys comment about my feet. The third person view I'm trying to use a little bit more these days, and it works really, really well. And then that's on that little Berkeley rod holder there. And then that's just another 50mm piece of pipe, and that goes all the way up to the top to the bar attachment for the GoPro. On the other side here, you've got the motor mount, and we just got a bit of carpet there as well, and that just gives it a little bit more protection against the motor mount itself, so it doesn't dig into the wood. Now, the most exciting part of it, but probably one of the oldest parts of it, has seen some pretty tough crap, is the old water snake. So we got the water snake 44-pound electric trolling motor. It's really, really good. It's lasted me since I was about 15 as well. It has seen some stuff. Look at all that corrosion. Yuck. That is disgusting. Works really, really well. It's hard to get on the plane by myself, but when we got someone in the front, it easily does it because the battery's at the back. So they've got a little light under here as well for night fishing, that sort of thing. I don't really do much night fishing, but I'm probably going to in the future. It's got a couple of different speeds there. It's got 5 forward and 2 back. And what we have here is we actually got it attached to an Anderson plug, and that goes to the battery box. So I got this one stupidly cheap, mainly because there's a handle was missing, but structurally it works really, really well. And then we just got a 100 amp hour battery at the back there, and that probably gives me about 6 to 7 hours of battery time. Now, what I do like about this battery box, I've only just done it in the recent times since when we went up to Central Queensland. It has a couple of USB outputs. Now, the good thing about that is that I can plug my GoPro third person view into the little USB port there and charge it no matter what, and we won't run out of battery. Really, really good. The only downside that I have with the GoPro, the third mount, it's actually a 7, and it does overheat, and you guys have probably had overheating issues with the 7s as well. I've got the 5 on the chest that I use all the time, not a problem. Use the 7, it always just overheats. But anyway, I still probably get about 3 or 4 hours before it overheats, and I just turn it off, turn it back on, and it's ready to go. So yeah, nothing too exciting happening here. And that's pretty much my canoe. So it's a Saranac 146 Old Town. Really, really awesome little vessel. And what I'm thinking of doing in the future is probably putting a little fish finder on that board at the front, and that way we can sound up some fish and do some school fish like bass or jewies or even barra, maybe up north or something like that. And I'll probably upgrade that motor as well, just because it's a bit old. And so anyway guys, that's the end of that. I hope you enjoyed it. A lot of people have been asking about this video, so here it is, and I hope you enjoyed. If you do see me out in the water, there's actually been a couple of you so far, give us a yell. Appreciate it guys. Give us a like down below, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you soon, and hopefully we'll be getting onto some better fish. Woo! See ya.